There are moments working in Japan where you just stand there thinking, is this really happening right now? I'm going to share 7 culture shock moments from my Tokyo office that completely changed how I see Japanese work culture. Some shocked me, some inspired me, and all of them taught me something profound about a totally different way of working. Hey everyone, I've been working at a Japanese company in Tokyo for over 2 years now, and honestly, the reality is so different from what I expected. Today, I'm sharing the moments that made me question everything, the good, the bad, and the just plain surprising. The first major shock happened during my second month. I was sitting at my desk when suddenly, I heard my manager loudly reprimanding a coworker in the middle of the open office. Not in a meeting room, not privately, right there in front of everyone. In my home country, this would be considered incredibly unprofessional and probably a lawsuit waiting to happen. But here, people just kept working, barely looking up. What stunned me even more was afterward. The person being scolded apologized profusely, bowed deeply, and there was no resentment. It made me realize that Japanese work culture operates on completely different principles of hierarchy and public accountability. It's not about humiliation. It's about the group seeing that mistakes are acknowledged and corrected. A few months in, I noticed something bizarre. During lunch break, several coworkers would literally put their heads down on their desks and sleep. Not hide it, not feel embarrassed, just sleep. At first, I thought maybe they were sick or having a rough day. But then I learned about inemuri, the practice of sleeping while present. In Japan, this is actually seen as a sign you're working so hard that you're exhausted. It's almost a badge of honor. This flipped my understanding completely. Back home, sleeping at your desk would get you fired. Here, it shows dedication. It made me question, which culture has it right? Or is right even the question we should be asking? Okay, this one sounds trivial until you experience it. I needed approval for a simple expense report, maybe $200. I thought I'd just email my manager and done, right? Wrong. I had to print the form, get my supervisor's Hanko stamp, then their manager's stamp, then that person's manager's stamp, then accounting stamp, then back to my supervisor to confirm, then finally to the department head. 7 stamps for a $200 expense. It took 3 days. I remember sitting there thinking, in the digital age, we're using ancient stamps on paper that travels physically through the building. But here's what I learned. It's not about efficiency. It's about distributed responsibility and making sure everyone in the chain is aware and accountable. No single person makes decisions alone. The process is the point. Nothing prepared me for gift season. My first summer at the company, I noticed people buying elaborate gift boxes and bringing them to the office. I asked my coworker what was happening. She explained ochugen, the summer gift-giving tradition. You're expected to give gifts to your boss, senior colleagues, people who've helped you, clients, and honestly, the list goes on. Then there's winter gifts too, osebu, plus individual occasions, weddings, births, illnesses, retirements. I calculated that I spent almost $300 in my first year just on mandatory work-related gifts, not optional, expected. I remember thinking, this is basically a hidden salary cut that no one mentioned in the job interview. But then someone explained, it's not about the money. It's about maintaining harmony, and showing you're invested in these relationships beyond just work transactions. It's the social fabric that holds Japanese companies together. This was the moment I truly understood Japanese workplace hierarchy. It was 7 p.m. I had finished all my work, my desk was clean, I was ready to go home. But my boss was still there, working on something. I started packing up, and my coworker subtly shook her head at me. Later, she whispered, "You can't leave before the bucho, the department head." I asked, "What if I'm done with my work?" She just said, "It doesn't matter." So I sat there, pretending to work, checking emails I'd already checked, reorganizing files that didn't need organizing. My boss finally left at 8:30, then like a choreographed performance, everyone else started packing up within 10 minutes. This wasn't about productivity. It was about showing respect through your physical presence. Your time isn't entirely your own. It belongs to the collective rhythm of the team. 6 months into my job, I received a formal wedding invitation from someone I had spoken to maybe 3 times. We weren't friends, we worked in different departments. I was confused. I learned that in Japanese companies, you often invite everyone in your section or department to your wedding, and attendance isn't really optional if you want to maintain good relationships. Plus, you're expected to give a cash gift, usually 30,000 yen, about $200. I remember thinking, I'm paying $200 to attend a stranger's wedding? But here's what shifted for me. In Japanese work culture, your colleagues aren't just people you work with. They're your community, your extended family almost. The company isn't just where you work. It's a significant part of your social identity. That wedding invitation wasn't strange. It was an invitation into that community. The moment that changed my perspective the most was meeting Tanaka-san. He had worked at our company for 40 years. Started right after university. Same company, same building, even the same floor. In my home country, people would think, wow, no ambition? Or he got stuck there? But when Tanaka-san retired, the entire company celebrated. There was a ceremony. People gave speeches about him. Some were crying. He had mentored hundreds of employees over 4 decades. He knew the company's history, its culture, its soul. And he seemed genuinely happy and proud of his 40-year journey. It made me question the Western obsession with job hopping and constant career changes. Maybe there's something profound about deep mastery, about being rooted somewhere over decades instead of years. Different isn't wrong. It's just different. These 7 moments taught me that culture shock isn't about one culture being better or worse. It's about recognizing that different societies have made different trade-offs based on different values. Japanese work culture prioritizes group harmony, long-term relationships, and institutional stability. It sacrifices individual convenience and personal time. Western culture does the opposite trade-off. The real question isn't which is right. The question is, which values matter most to you, and can you find peace with the trade-offs that come with them? If you're working in Japan or thinking about it, I hope these stories help you prepare for the reality, not the stereotype. It's challenging, it's fascinating, and it will absolutely change how you think about work. What surprised you most? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this valuable, subscribe for more honest content about life in Japan. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.